WVUA 23 sports anchor William Galloway joins us live in the newsroom with a preview of the big game. William?
Good evening, Julia. Yes, tomorrow is the day. Alabama #1 and Ohio State #3 square off in the national championship. And one thing to look for in this game is Alabama's been there before. They know what it's like to play on the big stage. The Crimson Tide will be making its 8th appearance in a national championship game during the college football playoff and BCS era. Alabama holds a 5-2 record in those games, and the current senior class has played in the national championship twice, winning once back in the 2017-2018 season. Over their 4 years, the seniors have a 50-4 record and look to finish off tomorrow night on a high note in Miami. Nick Saban spoke highly of his 2017 recruiting class and said they've made a significant impact both on and off the field.
This was an outstanding class. I think these guys have competed at a high level. They've been great ambassadors for the University of Alabama, and I think they've made a significant impact on our team this year, and hard to say where we'd be without them, but we're certainly happy to have them with us.
Coming up later in sports, I'll have an update on Alabama junior wide receiver Jalen Waddle and his status for the game tomorrow night. Reporting live in the newsroom, William Galloway, WVUA 23 Sports.
Yeah, Justin's had a good week of practice. You know, he's done a really good job preparing, and I think that's the thing that he felt like he did a good job going into last game, was just preparing at a high level, and he's continued to do that this week.
Good evening, I'm William Galloway. As you just heard from Coach Ryan Day, Justin Fields is ready to go for Ohio State for tomorrow night's national championship game. But what about Jalen Waddle? There's been so much speculation around his possible return for the game. And this morning, Coach Saban spoke to the media, kind of cleared everything up, said that's a decision that will be made tomorrow right before kickoff.
Well, he has been able to practice to some degree. I think the biggest challenge is, you know, can he sustain in the game? And it'll be a game-time decision as to whether he thinks he can play and go out there and do his job well enough to contribute to the team. And we won't know that until we get out there after pregame warm-up.
So Alabama fans will have their fingers crossed for Waddle as countdown to kickoff creeps closer and closer. Another Alabama injury update for you. Freshman defensive back Malachi Moore is questionable, and redshirt junior LeBron Ray is probable. Coach Saban said Ray has been able to practice some this week. Meanwhile, Moore is nursing an injury he sustained in the SEC championship game. Back to Ohio State now. The Buckeyes have been in this position before in terms of the college football playoff national championship. They won it in 2015. But Ryan Day knows that it's not all about just getting there and making the championship. He said he and his guys are there to win.
Well, I mean, no one ever talks about getting to the national championship. They talk about winning the national championship. You know, along the way, there are certain goals that you have to reach to get to this point. But the ultimate goal is to win this game. So, you know, when you have your goals of, you know, beating your rival, of winning the conference, of you know, winning the semifinal, and then finally this game, you have to check off those boxes. But ultimately, this is the final goal, and that's what all the focus is on right now.
Auburn football lost a pair of defensive linemen today to the transfer portal. Defensive end Big Cat Bryant and defensive tackle Daquan Newkirk announced their intentions to weigh their options for the 2021 season. Bryant recorded 3 sacks and an interception this past season, while Newkirk had 28 total tackles and 1.5 sacks in 2020 for the Tigers. Bryant and Newkirk are players number 4 and 5 for the Auburn Tigers to enter the transfer portal since Gus Malzahn's firing on December 13th. AFC wildcard game, Derrick Henry facing off against Lamar Jackson in Nashville. First quarter, Ryan Tannehill connects with A.J. Brown, a 7-0 lead for the Titans. Marlon Humphrey wanted offensive pass interference. Sorry, Marlon, not this time. Second quarter on a 3rd and 9, Lamar Jackson tuck and run. There he goes. Look at that speed. Oh, yeah. Touchdown. 48 yards. That would tie the game at 10. So we jump ahead to the 3rd quarter. Baltimore in the red zone. The give to J.K. Dobbins. He's going to go 4 yards for the score. The Ravens take the lead 17-10, and the Ravens go on to win it 20-13. Baltimore held Derrick Henry to just 40 yards rushing. So what about the NFC wild card? Bears at Saints. Is it Drew Brees' final run at a Super Bowl? Well, let's see. First quarter, Drew Brees finds Michael Thomas over the middle. That's a 10-yard touchdown. Saints go up 7-0. Jump ahead to the third quarter now. Brees, similar situation, but he's in trouble. He's going to dump it off to Latavius Murray. And Murray is going to find his way into the end zone for the score. 14-3 Saints there. A pretty one-sided game this one was. Saints win it 21-9, and New Orleans will host Tom Brady and the Bucs next Sunday. And the night game still going on, wrapping up in the fourth quarter. The Browns lead the Steelers 45-29, so an upset brewing. Big game there. In Nashville today, Alabama women's basketball picked up a big win, 80-56 over Vanderbilt. Jasmine Walker and Araya Copeland had double-doubles. Jordan Lewis had 12 points and dished out 6 assists. The Crimson Tide is 10-1 on the year and 3-1 in conference play. And with the game being in Miami tomorrow, you knew Coach Saban was going to reconnect with his former quarterback. There's a great picture of Coach Saban and Tua Tagovailoa. You love to see that. Just a reminder that kickoff tomorrow night is at 7 p.m. Central on ESPN. Gary Harris and I will have extended preview coverage for you on tomorrow night's news at 5 and 6. I'll have game updates at the 10 p.m. news as well. That's it for sports this evening. I'm William Galloway. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.